This video is sponsored by Only Crits. Until next time, play fair and have fun. Shoot, sorry. Gotta go.
Don't worry, everyone. I know what you want to see. I know what you want from Mike. And I'm gonna make it happen. Just you wait. It's gonna be a really great year. See you soon.
Yeah, considering this was going to be a year-long project with a ton of videos, I can totally understand why Matt didn't dig into all this in his one video. I'll be honest, this is going to be a huge increase in my workload. I'm not even sure how I'm going to be able to manage it.
Don't worry, you won't be doing it alone.
What the hell?
I'll be here to help the entire time.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm Oddwick, the algorithm wizard, and I'm here to help your channel grow.
Okay. Oddwick? I guess I'm a little confused. Did I summon you? Or do you work for YouTube?
No, silly. I'm just a fan of your channel, and I want to help your channel grow.
Well, that's very kind of you.
In fact, I won't be happy until you hit 100,000 subscribers.
Okay, that's very ambitious. I mean, it took me like 2.5 years to hit 50,000 subscribers. That was honestly pretty fast. Most channels don't grow that quickly.
Stick with me, and I promise you'll be at 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025.
Whoa, that is really unrealistic. I mean, honestly, I don't see any way we could hit that goal in a year.
Well, that's because you're not an algorithm wizard, like Oddwick.
That's true.
The algorithm wizard.
That's true. Right, okay. Well, so you're the expert. Is there anything I should be doing differently?
Sure, you should do a video every day.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I can't really keep up with that schedule, but there are gonna be a couple of bonus videos this week and next week.
4 videos a week.
Well, yes, actually, if I can pull it off, it should be around 4 videos a week.
For the rest of the year.
No, just this week and next week. We're gonna do a couple of videos about campaign structure, we'll do a video about what's in my Appendix N, and a couple of videos about how to start your campaign. It should be a ton of fun. I'm really looking forward to sharing them with you.
And throw a demystified video in there too.
No demystified video this week, but there are gonna be some bonus demystified videos coming in the next couple of months.
Hooray!
If you wanna make sure you see all my videos when they come out, make sure to subscribe.
100,000 subscribers.
Just so we're on the same page. When I hit 100,000 subscribers, you go away, right?
Yes.
But until we hit that goal, you're gonna be in more of my videos.
All of them.
Okay, folks, this is Oddwick. I hope you like him because I guess he's sticking around. And if you don't like Oddwick, then please subscribe to the channel and he'll go away. But you should also subscribe so you can see all of my videos, including some really excellent bonus videos I've got planned for this month. And ring the bell so you can get notified when those videos come out because that also helps a whole lot. If you get the notification and watch a video as soon as it comes out, it also helps boost the channel. You can also support me financially on Patreon.
Call to action.
I'm very clearly doing the call to action, Oddwick.
Hooray!
You can give me money on Patreon if you want. It really helps a lot. I also have a Discord server where I'm sure people will be discussing Oddwick.
Only good things, I'm sure.
You're very cute, Oddwick. I'm sure people will be focused mostly on that. And I've got a newsletter. I'm trying to get better about using it this year, so please sign up for that as well. All those links are in the doobly-doo below. Click here. Oddwick, can you move? I need to put the end card up.
You got it.
It's gonna be a weird year, isn't it? But before we dig into all that, today we're just gonna talk about the broad, holistic idea of modeling your campaign's structure on a TV show. Because this is actually an idea that popped up in the new Dungeon Master's Guide when they discussed how to go about preparing and running your campaign. So let's see what kind of advice they have for us. And in the spirit of modeling things after TV shows, I'm kind of hoping to keep this episode under 22 minutes, although I don't have high hopes for that.
Don't forget me.
Oh.
I can help.
Hi, Oddwick. If you missed the last episode, this is Oddwick, the algorithm wizard.
I'm here to help your channel grow.
Yeah, is that a Power Rangers reference? I meant to ask earlier, when you say make your channel grow, are you doing Power Rangers?
I'll never tell.
All right, well, yeah, you're saying you can help me keep this episode under 22 minutes, right?
Oh no, I meant I could make this more like a TV show.
How would you do that?
Like this. Super Geek Mike is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
What? No, it's not. No. Kill the laugh track. Look, Oddwick, do you think you could give me a few minutes to actually talk about the topic people came here to hear about?
You've got it.
We can all just pretend that opening title sequence didn't happen, right? Okay. Anyway. Hey, Oddwick.
Yes?
Why can't I say f***?
It's the TV show episode.
It's the TV episode, right? I realized that as soon as I said it. You can't curse in a TV episode. Yep, checks out. Okay, thank you, Oddwick.
You got it.
Which actually brings me to another resource I want to talk about today, which also has some useful advice for thinking about your campaign like a TV show.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
What? Wait, that's not usually how we do things around here. Dice. 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 Dice by Only Crits. Visit onlycrits.com/supergeek and use the promo code SUPERGEEK to save 12% off your order. Link in the description. For dice. What the hell was that?
A commercial for the TV show episode.
Okay, fine. Normally I do more of a segue to get into an ad, but it's fine. Anyway, let's get back to the video, please. Hey, Oddwick?
Yes?
I made it through my TV show episode. Can I please have my cursing back?
Not yet. There's one more thing we've got to do.
Oh god. What is it?
This program was made possible thanks to contributions from viewers like you.
That's actually true. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much to everyone who supports me on Patreon. It really does mean a lot to me. This channel and everything I'm doing truly could not exist if it wasn't for your support. Thanks, Oddwick. I could stand to be a little more sincere from time to time. What's happening? Why are we fading to black? Is this you? Are you doing this? Are we doing another bit now? Uh-oh. Critical failure. The DM hasn't looked over at me yet. I could change my die result and he wouldn't know.
Not so fast.
Oddwick!
We play games with dice for a reason. Chance and luck are an important part of the game. If you cheat, you're only cheating yourself out of the experience of allowing something really cool to happen that you weren't expecting. Plus, none of the other players are cheating, so it's not fair to them to change your die roll.
You're right. DM, I rolled the natural 1. You're killed immediately. Well, at least I know that's what would have happened, because I played fair. Thanks, Oddwick.
Now you know, and knowledge is the key to unlocking the mysteries of the multiverse.
Yeah! Thank you, Oddwick.
Absolutely. See you next time.
In the next thrilling episode of Super Geek Mike, Mike shares the art that inspires him. But what did he leave out?
I've never actually read The Lord of the Rings.
Followed by a very special episode of the Super Geek Academy, a tribute to the most important men in Mike's life.
Well, that's a little misleading.
Tears will be shed. You don't wanna miss this. Sunday, January 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on YouTube.
Well, oh, come on. I have to rewatch a lot of TV shows this year. It's honestly been kind of challenging to fit them into my schedule, but it's also really fun to revisit a lot of these shows, some of them for the first time in decades.
But what if people want to watch along with you?
Oh, hi, Oddwick. Hey, I don't have to call you the algorithm wizard every time you show up, do I?
No, I'm cool.
Okay, cool. So anyway,
I mean, you can still try it out, see how it feels. Oddwick the algorithm wizard, it's fun to say. Come on, try it.
No, I'm good.
Your loss. But like I was saying, what if people want to watch all these shows you're going to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if people want, they could pick one of these shows and watch it, and then they'll be able to follow along when I get to that video. But you don't have to. I want to be really clear. I'll make sure that any video I make has enough context so you can follow along if you haven't seen the show. And I'll also flag spoilers so you can avoid them if you still want to watch that show yourself.
But what if people want to watch everything you're talking about this year? Will you give us a full list and what order to watch them in?
I mean, to be honest, I think the TV shows I just named are the most important ones, followed by the comics. I'm going to talk about other TV shows as well, but I don't think all of them need to be rewatched in order to understand the videos. Like, the first show I'm going to talk about is the 2010 Avengers cartoon, but we're just going to talk about the first few episodes. You don't have to watch that whole show to follow along with that video.
But can you please just give us a reading order?
Sure, I guess check out the first season of Doctor Who, and then Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, and then spend the rest of the year rewatching Lost. Check out the comics too if you want, but if not, it's fine. Like I said, if you don't watch or read any of this stuff, you will still be fine. And also, like I said, I'm not going to discuss those books this year. I just do not have the bandwidth to add any books to my schedule for 2025.
You should make an exception, though.
Oh, I mean, which book do you want to hear me talk about?
For Harry Potter. People would watch a video about the lessons we can learn from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'm sure they would, but I'm not interested in continuing to platform J.K. Rowling these days.
You know, if you make a Harry Potter video, lots of people would comment about how you shouldn't make that video. It would get lots of engagement.
That's not why I make these videos, Oddwick. I don't care about the algorithm. I didn't mean that.
No, it's fine. Excuse me.
Oddwick, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was going to upset you. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm still not making the Harry Potter video. These videos are also really hit and miss with the algorithm, so it doesn't really incentivize me to make them that often.
Aha!
Oh, shit.
So you do think about the algorithm. That's interesting, because in your last video, I remember a certain YouTuber telling a certain algorithm wizard that he didn't care about the algorithm.
Yes, I did.
Seems like somebody owes somebody else an apology.
I apologized to you in that video. I told you that I didn't mean to upset you.
But you didn't admit you think about the algorithm.
Okay, yes, I see your point. I sometimes hold off on making certain kinds of videos that I think are going to perform poorly in the algorithm. So yes, I said it. I don't think about the algorithm. I don't care about the algorithm. That is not, strictly speaking, true. I do sometimes keep it in mind.
Thank you. Now make a Harry Potter video.
No.
Please.
No. Ah! Get out of here. We're done. But either way, it still means that I won't feel like I'm forced to do top-down world building when that's not what's exciting to me.
So in your starting town, is there a local wizard? Maybe someone who wears purple robes?
So here's the interesting thing. At first, I didn't include a local wizard because I kind of wanted this world to just be a fresh start. If there's going to be a local wizard, it can be one of the player's characters when that character eventually retires from adventuring. You know, that kind of thing. But so far, I've run 2 games that started in the Thornwood Keep, and the second time, it really would have helped the story a lot if there had been a local wizard who could answer questions about the arcane. So I am considering adding a local wizard.
Oh, you're gonna put me in your games?
I'm just saying that I'm thinking about it. It turns out that having a friendly wizard around is kind of helpful. That's all I'm saying, and that's all I'm committing to so far.
I'll take it.
You can also join my Discord or sign up for my newsletter so you can catch all my updates without being dependent on social media platforms, which seem to be increasingly under the control of a bunch of right-wing freaks.
You know, I could do without the politics.
Well, tough cookies. We're still going to talk about politics kind of a lot on this channel, actually. I mean, if you don't want to be associated with my political content, I would completely understand. You could just leave when I start talking about politics, which I did just start talking about politics, so you could just leave now. Should have tried that weeks ago. Okay, be honest. Is this Larkin running joke too much? I've done it a few times now, but I'm worried it's just not landing. Hey, Oddwick?
That's me.
Well, you're an algorithm wizard. I'm hoping you can help me out with something. I'm trying to figure something out.
I'm happy to help.
Well, I've been doing this running joke where I talk about how awesome Larkin is and kind of treat him like those old Chuck Norris memes, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But now I'm worried the joke might not be landing for the audience. You know, if they're not enjoying it, should I even stick with it? Plus, Larkin isn't even real. I mean, you know, none of the characters we see on Critical Role are actually real, but Larkin is 100% imaginary. He's basically played by another character, just doing a voice and pretending to be this other character. And I don't know, should I just keep doubling down on what is essentially just a running joke?
More than anything else, audiences respond to authenticity. If you don't believe in the joke and you don't think it's funny, then the audience will be able to tell.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. I committed this sort of Chuck Norris style running gag, but I don't think that's funny long term. I think eventually you get the joke, you know?
So are you going to drop the running gag?
I think so. Plus, you know, that way, My audience will know that if I do wind up committing to some other running gag at some point in the future, they'll know that I at least believe it's funny, or that I'm doing it for some other purpose.
Ooh, do you have another running joke in mind?
No, I don't really have anything in mind. I'm just sort of speaking hypothetically, you know what I mean? Alright, thanks Oddwick, I really appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
No problem. See you next time, because I'm in all of your videos now.
That's right, every single one, with no exceptions. Well folks, you heard it here first. I'm dropping the running gag. I just wasn't feeling it. From here on out, no more Larkin jokes. Everyone who does that really helps a lot because it tells YouTube that you want to watch this video, and that helps bonus videos like this one cut through some of the algorithm BS and find their audience.
Excuse me.
Oops.
Did you just say algorithm BS? We talked about this.
I know, Oddwick, you're an algorithm wizard, so I know this feels maybe a little bit sensitive for you, but I just meant that sometimes when I upload videos on not my scheduled days, and sometimes when they're a little bit off the normal topics, they can potentially struggle to find their audience. That is all I was saying.
Well, if they want to see your bonus videos, they need to subscribe.
That's what I said.
And they should ring the bell.
I said that too.
We need their subscriptions. After all, we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
I mean, like I told you at the beginning of the year, I don't think that's going to happen. On an average month, I usually get 700 to like 1,100 new subscribers, and that's pretty good. If I were to get 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I would need to get 4 times as many subscribers every month. I just do not see that happening.
I believe in you. We'll get there soon. As long as everyone subscribes.
Sorry about him. I know it's annoying, but he says he's going to go away once I hit 100,000 subscribers, which means we have a clear end in sight. You know, that's really similar to these TV shows we're talking about today. Perfect segue.
Boy, you did a great job with this video.
Oh, thanks, Oddwick. What did you think of the show? Are you interested in watching it?
I don't really like cartoons.
Okay. Well, what was your favorite lesson from this video?
I really liked what you said about dramatic irony. I think a really fun way to avoid metagaming is just to let your players in on the secrets of your campaign. That way they get to feel like they have some control. Typically, players metagame because they don't want to lose, but mostly, they just want to feel like they have some control over their situation. If you make them feel more like a collaborator, it's going to be a lot easier to convince them to play along with your shenanigans.
That's true, thanks Oddwick. I totally agree. But that's just what we think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, I would love to hear from you. Hey Oddwick,
What's up?
is there any chance this video doesn't get demonetized?
Videos typically only get flagged by users who report the videos to YouTube, so you should be fine as long as everyone is cool.
You hear that, everybody? Be cool. You know what you were watching when you clicked on this video. You knew it was gonna get spicy. Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Just be cool.
be cool.
Come on. Be cool. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw here today, make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell. You can join my Patreon or become a YouTube member to help me stay liquid. You can join my Discord to be a part of a whole group of fans. And you can sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date. Too much?
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Fair enough. Now I just need somebody to run a game for me so I can play him.
I'll run a game for you.
You know, I'm okay. I have to admit, as much as I love Juror number 7, part of me is a little bit sad that I didn't get around to creating Otto Osterman, the Clockwork Sorcerer, or even the Time Wizard that I almost made instead. Maybe someday I'll dust off one of those characters. I still really like the idea of playing a D&D character who casts time magic. I think that would be a lot of fun.
And speaking of surprises,
Hi, Oddwick. Not really a surprise to have you here. You're in all of my videos now.
Oh, I didn't mean me. I meant the surprises you have in store for the audience. Don't you have anything you want to tell them about?
Yeah, I am actually hoping to get some bonus videos out in the next couple of weeks, schedule permitting.
Don't you think they should know what kind of bonus videos you're planning?
Well, I'm sure they'll appreciate the surprise. Everyone loves surprises, right?
Maybe they would like to know that you've got some bonus demystified videos coming out soon?
Yeah. Look, Oddwick, listen.
I mean, after all, you've been putting out videos on weird days and pulling out some really strange videos, like an Avengers video that's not even gonna make you any money, and a video about sex scenes in D&D, the most niche topic ever.
Hey, both of those videos were great.
And so maybe you could give some thought toward making the videos your audience wants to see, like some more Critical Role videos. Just something to think about. I don't want to tell you how to run your channel. I'm sure you'll do the right thing.
Okay, look, this isn't just a Critical Role channel, but I do know that there are some people who really only come here for those videos, and I get it. And I did start this year with the plan of doing a bunch of bonus Critical Role videos right off the bat, but then, look, it's been a long year, and it's only mid-February. My city burst into flames, and then so did my country. And so for the past few weeks, I've just been trying to get back into the rhythm of making videos more consistently. But I promise, if I don't get to any of them this week, I will have some bonus demystified videos coming very soon. And I also know that my upload schedule has been kind of all over the place lately, but I swear, things are finally getting back to normal. I promise. What the hell? Are there any other TV shows that do the same thing, just dropping 1 or 2 word hints about the season finale, but otherwise just doing completely episodic adventures? Because I've been trying to come up with other examples, and I really can't think of any. Hey, Oddwick.
What's up?
I'm trying to think of any other TV shows, or just honestly, any other media in general, where there's not a lot of explicit foreshadowing, but instead the creators keep showing the audience the same thing over and over, and the viewers are just meant to pick up on it and trust the story is leading somewhere. Can you think of any other examples where the creator keeps shoving something into each episode, whether or not it adds anything to the episode at all, and basically just trust the audience to pick up on it and understand that they're clearly going somewhere with it? Can you think of any other examples of that?
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, me neither. Thanks for trying, I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
If you can think of any other examples of TV shows that handle foreshadowing in the same way, let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe and sign up for my newsletter. So, yeah, that's everything I had to say about D&D today. So, like and subscribe. That's it. If you just want my thoughts about legacy villains in D&D games and how the Dalek serves as a useful example, that's everything I had to say about it. So, if that's all you want to hear about, Oddwick and anyone else who came just for that, you can leave now. The video is over.
But it looks like there's still a lot of time left in the video. I mean, you say you're not going to keep talking about D&D and you're not going to keep talking about Doctor Who, but I'm looking down at the time code down there, and it looks like there's like half an hour of video left. So what exactly are you going to be talking about for the rest of this video?
Hey, Oddwick, can you read this?
Kyoto? What's that?
This video is about Donald Trump.
Look, I don't normally like to get involved in the political parts of your videos, but I think there's something that you're really missing that seems really obvious to me, and I can't believe you haven't acknowledged it.
Kyoto.
Ah! Can I please say something about Doctor Who?
Oddwick, that was obviously just a pretense. I was actually just wanting to talk about this subject and needed to find some way to justify it. That's all this was.
But it does tie into this subject. It's about the episode, but it's also about Trump. I think you're forgetting that the whole episode is about the Doctor letting his hatred of the Dalek corrupt him and turn him into someone he doesn't want to be.
We are the same.
Maybe we are. I know what you deserve. Exterminate. Rid the universe of your filth. Why don't you just die?
You would make a good Dalek.
That thing killed hundreds of people.
It's not the one pointing the gun at me.
Okay, that's a false equivalency. Obviously, not liking someone for being a racist and a fascist is not the same as being just as bad as them. This is a comment that I got all the time. Both sides are equally extreme, and it's just not true. The far left wants to give everyone health care. The far right wants to round up all the immigrants.
First of all, if you are writing a comment like that, keep it up. It's all engagement.
Come on, man.
But second, I'm not saying you're just as bad, but this is an episode about the Doctor being completely unwilling to accept that a Dalek could change.
Ugh, I got this comment all the time too, that because Trump is going to be president, we should be rooting for him to have a change of heart. And I know what you're going to say, Oddwick.
No, you don't.
No, I do. Because in the episode, the Dalek does have a change of heart. It starts to change and questions what it is. But the reason that happens is because it makes contact with Rose. The touch of a time traveler gives it energy, but also gives it a new perspective. But let's be honest, if a time traveler did cross paths with Donald Trump, I can't imagine they'd be stopping by just to change his mind, you know?
Okay, but here's the thing.
Look, I know what you're going to say.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. You're going to say that was a flippant response because your point is that sometimes these evil fascists can change, and maybe I should be receptive to the idea that Trump will change. But he's been showing us who he is for 10 years. Hell, he's been the same guy for his entire life. Remember, the Doctor isn't wrong about how evil the Dalek is. It still kills dozens of people. It only starts to question things at the end of the episode, and at that point it also knew it couldn't be redeemed. So it destroyed itself because it knew it had truly done evil things. So the idea that we should be rooting for Trump to do a good job requires us to ignore everything he's done up to this point in his entire life, and trust that he could change with no evidence and no prompting. If the Doctor had done that, it would have been insane. It's okay to assume somebody evil will keep being evil up until the point where they prove they're not. And once the Dalek realized it was changing and it couldn't keep going, it literally destroyed itself. Because sometimes when you do a lot of evil things, redemption is impossible. The Doctor doesn't forgive the Dalek. He just realizes he shouldn't kill it. So in this analogy, I guess the lesson is don't shoot Donald Trump? Oddwick, if you just wanted me to make sure that that's clear to my audience, okay, that's fair enough. Nobody should take this video out of context. I want to make sure the lesson is clear. So, fair enough. Hey, audience, don't murder the president. You could go to jail if you do, or you die, and I don't want that to happen to you. Remember, I like you.
Yeah, but that wasn't my point either.
Okay, Oddwick, then what? What is your point? What is the lesson that I should draw from this episode?
It's not about how evil the Dalek is. It's not about whether the Doctor was right, or whether he was just insisting the Dalek was evil so he could be proven right versus trying to warn people earnestly. That's not my point. My point is, the hate overwhelmed him. He lost sight of who he was because he was so consumed by his hatred. It doesn't matter how reasonable it is to be wary about his longtime foe, he still lost himself to the hate.
Well, you have to admit that given that the Doctor was processing the trauma of the Time War, it is kind of reasonable for him to still be pretty upset with the Daleks.
But his inability to see beyond his hate corrupted him. It took over his brain so he couldn't focus on anything else. Does that sound familiar?
Oh god, this is a Trump derangement syndrome thing, isn't it? That expression has never made any sense to me. It just assumes that people who hate Trump just do so for no reason, not because he's an active threat to democracy who gets people killed. It's okay to be pretty frustrated about that. If you're at a wedding and somebody takes a shit on the wedding cake, you're gonna complain about it until that person gets thrown out. And whenever he shows up again or someone tries to invite him to another party, it's not crazy to say, hey, don't let that guy in. He took a shit on a wedding cake. We all saw it. Stop pretending it didn't happen. And when people don't believe you, or ignore you, or say that he's moved on, even though he clearly hasn't, it does make you feel like you're going crazy. But that's the point. They want to make you feel like you're deranged when you say the president is bad. So that way you don't feel like you can question the president. But obviously we can, and we should. We have to talk about the fact that the president is doing things that are by any definition evil.
But Mike, you still have to live your life.
I do. I mean, yeah, obviously I have some pretty strong feelings about Trump, but this is not... I talk about other stuff too. There's other things...
I couldn't. I wasn't.
Okay. You've made your point. Look, in the lead up to the election, I talked about Trump a lot on this channel and how he was bad. My hope was that I could stop talking about him after the election because we would just not vote for him, and then we could move on with our lives. Obviously, the election didn't go the way that I hoped, but a lot of people insisted that I was obsessed with Trump and should drop the subject. And let's be clear, they were wrong. If their point was that I shouldn't talk about Trump on my channel, you can already tell that I disagree. But they were circling a reasonable point. Sort of like how a lot of Trump voters in 2016 were circling a valid point about how terrible establishment politicians were, but they were just wrong about how Trump was their real savior. Look, I'm still going to talk about Trump sometimes on this channel, and sometimes I'm going to try to rally some sort of collective action to fight against whatever shitty thing he just did, and other times I might just need to vent about his latest nonsense. But I can also appreciate that we can't just let him consume our every waking thought. I got a lot of shitty comments around Thanksgiving because I made a community post expressing solidarity with people who were having a hard holiday due to the election, among other things. And people basically insisted that I was obsessed with Trump and the election, and like, come on, man, it's Thanksgiving. The traditions are literally food, football, parade, and arguing with your family about politics. They were wrong. I was not obsessed with Trump. But they could wind up being right. I spent that first week of November doom scrolling, practically constantly. And I don't want to live my life for the next 4 years the way I spent the first week of November. Even just making this video, I had to stay plugged in so I could actually know my way around the topics I wanted to bring up. But then I pushed the video back, and then I did it again, and again, and again. I had to stay extra plugged in, and it sucked. But I also feel like I have to stay informed, quite frankly, because everything that's happening is horrifying, and we need to know about it. And yeah, this is how I've been feeling ever since the election. We need to stay informed, but we also need to take time to ourselves to unplug from the news. We need to find a balance. I found mine over just the past couple of weeks in just watching a few YouTube channels to get my news and stay up to date on current affairs, and then also making sure that I watch other YouTube videos that have nothing to do with current events, specifically so I don't fall into those political rabbit holes. Now, we're lucky. In this hobby, we have a built-in way to spend time just connecting with other human beings. That's the whole premise of our hobby, is just playing games with other people. But we need to do that as much as possible. FD Signifier also made a great video about how the Trump trolls thrive on negative videos like this, and it might be better for most of us to not make countless anti-Trump videos to starve them of attention. And I don't necessarily know if that's true, but for a lot of reasons, I don't plan to make a whole bunch of videos entirely about Musk or Trump. But consider this my attempt to reach out to any Trump voters who can be reached out to. How many of you are there? I don't know. Will you come around in time as things get worse? I don't know. But I did have to try. At least just once.
But now that you've made this video, it's time to start treating yourself better. Go outside, touch some grass. I'm not trying to be patronizing, I literally mean take a walk. Go see a movie, get a haircut. And if you're looking for some way to reach out to people and build a community, maybe you should get on a live stream and just hang out with people. Unplug from social media for a while and play some video games on Twitch or something.
You know what? That is honestly a good idea. There's a few games that I've been meaning to play. I want to play more Hades. I want to get back into those new Spider-Man games. So in the next week or two, keep an eye on this channel and on my newsletter, because I'm going to start doing some live streams where you can watch me play Hades and maybe Spider-Man. I'm going to do more charity streams, especially when Trump does some crazy shit, I'm sure. But I'll try not to make all of my streams simple recitations of the latest shitty things he said and did. If you want that, follow me on Blue Sky. I'll retweet all the crazy shit he says and does and drives me all crazy. But look, I'm not saying that I'm never going to talk about that on the live streams. I'm never going to talk about politics on the live streams. But also, it's going to be nice to just hang out and chill. Politics is not off the table, and in fact, Hades is about escaping from hell, which is being run by a tyrant, so we might feel the vibes pretty strongly during those streams. But we'll also talk about, whatever. TV shows I'm watching for this channel, or not watching for this channel that I'm just watching in general. Scripts that I'm in the process of writing. Hot takes, all kinds of other stuff. So, I guess, thank you, Oddwick, for pointing out how all-consuming this stuff can be. And hopefully, streaming some games will give me the chance to find an outlet that doesn't have anything to do with social media or the news and all that, and that can just be a fun way to pass the time.
Exactly. Plus, it'll expand your reach to a broader audience and diversify the kind of content you make.
Wait, what? Is that why you suggested this?
Of course not. Bye!
Did that little fucker just trick me into voluntarily adding more to my plate? Hello, remember me? I don't blame you if you don't, it's been a minute. It's been a pretty chaotic month so far. I've got a new setup, as you can see. This sign was actually a gift from my wife and her book club as a thank you for running a game for them. But honestly, this new setup isn't why I've been gone so long. I was actually going to film this video the day after the Dalek video came out, But then I wound up having to run around dealing with car trouble. Nothing too serious. Car stuff can get expensive, but thankfully it wasn't that bad. It just took a ton of time. Although our dryer also caught fire. That wasn't fun.
Yep, there's the scorch marks right there on the back. I don't know how well you can see them. It definitely still smells like burnt metal, and this was like 2 weeks ago. So, you know, patreon.com/supergeekmike.
And I think understanding where I land on this subject will help you understand the way I view the hobby and my role in it, and why I bear absolutely no ill will toward anybody who doesn't like the existence of politics in my videos. But also, why I don't plan to stop, and it's okay if that means my channel is not your thing. Let's get into it.
Hey, Mike. Listen, I know we had a really good conversation in the last video when we were talking about politics and Doctor Who, but the numbers on that video weren't amazing, and it got demonetized, probably because of the clips, but the politics probably didn't help. Do you think it's a good idea to talk so much about politics in yet another video when you haven't been putting out a video in 2 weeks and people just want to hear you talk about D&D for a change? Is this really a good idea?
Cudo. Okay, Oddwick, you can come out now. I know that that note didn't actually banish you.
Yeah, that doesn't work on me.
So why'd you disappear?
Well, you were trying to get rid of me. If someone wants you to leave, you should leave. It doesn't matter that the magic spell didn't work. You still wanted to be alone, and I wanted to respect that.
Oh, that's sweet. So just out of curiosity, is there a way to make you actually vanish for good?
Of course, once you reach 100,000 subscribers.
Oh god, I forgot about that. Okay, Cudo.
See you soon.
Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back with another one of these very soon.
Don't do it!
What?
Don't do another Q&A video.
Well, I have to. Until I can actually start live streaming again, this is the best way to give the people what they paid for and fulfill a Patreon tier.
I understand that, but maybe these videos should be Patreon exclusives.
Well, I think this is great content that anyone would want to watch.
But they don't. They're not watching these videos. They're only hurting you in the algorithm. You should just make these Q&As into Patreon-only videos going forward.
Oddwick, the algorithm isn't everything.
After the year you've had so far? Yeah, it kind of is.
Okay, point taken. I'll think about it. It does kind of make sense. These are meant to replace some Patreon-only live streams, and those were only going to be seen by the people who support me on Patreon, so...
So it would make sense to have these videos only available on Patreon.
I'll think about it. I'm actually still optimistic that I'll be able to get my schedule under control by next week, week after, and I'll be able to start live streaming again.
Yeah. Maybe.
Look, I know, but I'm getting caught up on stuff. I'm getting a lot done every week now.
Yeah, totally.
Alright, leave me alone. So I made a video about that, but I'm not going to make that video available here on the main channel. It's going to be a Patreon exclusive.
I think you're making a mistake.
Hi, Oddwick. Okay, so you don't think I should make that video?
Of course you should. And you should upload it to the main channel.
No.
Start some drama.
No, absolutely not. Look, let's be honest. Given how my videos have been performing, I probably should post some controversial video to get my views up. But I'm not interested in starting Twitter drama with anyone or being a YouTube drama channel or whatever. I don't even want to name the influencer who originated this claim, because that's how uninterested I am in getting into some idiotic flame war with someone who, as you can guess, is probably just not on the same page as me about some pretty foundational stuff. But that being said, while I was making this video and going through all the art in the player's handbook, I couldn't help myself. I counted. And I made a video about my results, and you can watch it on my Patreon right now or by becoming a YouTube member. It is absolutely not the type of thing you need to watch. The whole topic is very, very stupid, but if you're at all curious, that video is linked in the description. You can go check it out there.
You're no fun.
Of course, at this rate, it's going to take forever for us to get to the end of the Chroma Conclave arc, let alone reach the end of the campaign. And I feel bad that I've missed a few installments of Critical Role Demystified. I've definitely fallen behind schedule. And so I want to make it up to you. So, just for April.
Oh man, we're doing it. We're finally doing it.
Just this once.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
And mainly so I can sync up a certain dragon encounter so it falls on Dragon Week in April.
This is all I've ever wanted.
Starting next week, I'm going to be doing weekly Demystified episodes all month long.
Hooray!
So if that's something you want to see, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell and come back for those videos every Thursday. And probably a bonus video on one of those Mondays to make sure that everything syncs up nicely. There's going to be a lot of Critical Role videos coming in the next few weeks, so I hope you're ready for them. I'm doing weekly Demystified videos through most of the month.
Hooray!
Ignore him, he's just excited.
Weekly Demystified videos!
He's been doing this ever since I made the announcement on Monday. He seems very excited about the fact that I'm doing weekly Demystified videos for some reason.
Well, of course I am. I'm the algorithm wizard. I'm happy you're doing your most popular series more frequently.
Just for the next few weeks, that's it.
I told you to delete your channel.
What the hell was that? What just happened? Who was that?
I don't know, but I can find out.
Previously on Super Geek Mike.
I told you to delete your channel.
Well, that didn't help, I remember that part.
This is kind of like D&D, huh?
What?
You know how at the beginning of a D&D game, your players might not remember what happened in the last session, and so as the game master, you start the game by reminding them what had just happened? And since we're filming right now, maybe you could talk about that. Like, what's the best way to refresh your players' memories about what just happened in the game?
Oddwick, we're dealing with something life and death. This is not the time to talk about D&D. And besides, just reminding your players about what happened at the end of the last game isn't going to do any good.
Oh, do tell.
Anyway, video over. Oddwick, can you please give me a more comprehensive recap?
Sure thing.
Previously on Super Geek Mike.
What the hell? And while you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe and sign up for my newsletter.
I told you to delete your channel.
Yeah, I remember some of that. I still don't feel like that's giving me the full picture of what just happened, though.
Well, do you have any advice for what makes a good recap?
But in this case... Hey, Oddwick?
Yeah?
I know there's something I'm missing about this masked guy who just showed up. There's something I didn't see. In this analogy, you could pretend that I'm a player who missed a session, because I'm definitely missing some important context. So I want you to show me a recap that covers everything that I missed. Everything that's actually relevant to what's going on.
Yeah, of course.
Previously on Super Geek Mike.
Soon.
There's going to be a lot of Critical Role videos coming in the next few weeks, so I hope you're ready for them.
Not this time. I told you to delete your channel.
That was some pretty important context, Oddwick.
Yeah. You know, since we're talking about how TV shows do things, maybe it's time for a commercial break. What do you say? Do you want to read an ad?
Tell you what, Oddwick, I'm actually having a hard time thinking about anything besides the masked guy who just broke into my house and shot at me. I'm having a little difficulty also coming up with a seamless transition for a sponsor to talk about their goods and services, so why don't you just cut to a commercial? You've done that before, you can do that again, right?
Sure, I'm happy to help.
Hello, it's me, Winnie the Pooh. You know me as a beloved character of your childhood. Or as a deranged killer in a couple of low-budget horror movies. But what you probably don't know about me is that I love tabletop role-playing games, which is why I wanted to tell you about today's sponsor, Only Crits. Only Crits is a wonderful dice company that makes beautiful dice. They've got sharp-edged dice that look like they've got stars in them, and metal dice that look like chains or dragon scales, and gemstone dice that look like they were plucked right out of the ground, they do. Only Crits is a Canadian company, and if you've been keeping up with what the old colonies have been up to, you know they've created quite a row with their neighbors to the north. So why don't you show Canada some love and support a small business? Plus, each set of dice you buy comes with a free digital adventure. And I love rolling these dice. They're just fun to roll. Watch. And if you visit onlycrits.com/supergeekmike and use the promo code SUPERGEEK at checkout, you'll save 12% off of your order. Plus, another share of the sale goes towards supporting Mike. He's a good egg, he is. Once again, that's onlycrits.com/supergeekmike and use the promo code SUPERGEEK. Thank you so much to OnlyCrits for sponsoring this video. Cheerio! Thanks, Oddwick. And you know what? I'm ready to talk about more D&D stuff.
That's great.
Oddwick,
Yeah?
what happened to the masked man?
I don't know.
You cast a spell on him, right?
Yeah, just to knock him back, get him out of the room.
So you don't know where he is?
No?
Hey, Oddwick,
What?
I've been thinking. Maybe I should do a recap. Like the players doing recaps for a D&D game instead of the Dungeon Master doing it. Maybe I can try my hand at recapping the stuff that led us to this point. Do you mind if I try that?
Be my guest.
Great.
Previously on Super Geek Mike.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm Oddwick, the algorithm wizard, and I'm here to help your channel grow. I won't be happy until you hit 100,000 subscribers.
But until we hit that goal, you're gonna be in more of my videos.
All of them!
Soon.
We had my kid's first birthday party. I had some car trouble and a lot of internet issues, and our clothes dryer literally burst into flames. There's gonna be a lot of Critical Role videos coming in the next few weeks.
Not this time.
So now that I'm through with a very chaotic March, we are finally coming back to the Demystified series.
I told you to delete your channel.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I think you know exactly what happened to the masked man. I think you know who he is.
I don't.
He didn't show up until you came around, and he seems to be fixated on you.
What are you talking about?
Every time he's been watching the channel, you've been there.
So have you. And I wasn't here when he shot at you.
That's right, you weren't. You showed up and knocked him away and he disappeared, and then you convinced me to do a whole video about recapping our D&D games? You organized this was all you.
Okay, I will admit that this provided a really excellent opportunity for us to talk about this subject and get another video out there. That doesn't mean that I brought this guy here.
You said you just hit him with a spell to knock him back. The reason you don't want to hurt him is because he's your ally.
Mike, I swear, I don't know who he is. I don't know him.
So he came in and shot at me, and then you knocked him back, and he just didn't come back into the room for some reason?
Right.
So a guy with a laser gun is just loose in my house now, right?
The baby is sleeping. I had a whole plan, you know. When Oddwick knocked me back, I was gonna come around through the bathroom window, catch you by surprise, zap the computer, then just leave. But I thought I heard the baby stirring. I had to check on him. I didn't want to have to get this close. I thought those messages might scare you, get you to delete your channel. When that didn't work, I tried other methods. Your car, your dryer, your internet, anything I could think of. But you just wouldn't take the hints.
Who are you?
I never meant to get this close, but I just wanted to see him again.
Who are you? I told you to delete your channel. You should have listened. I won't let you make the same mistakes again. I'll be in touch. You're okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Well, I got the baby back to sleep. Feels like it took forever. Like, I swear to God, it felt like that took a whole week. And it might have also felt like a while if you were watching these videos, because I guess we're still filming. I haven't turned off the camera since I got interrupted at the end of my last Critical Role Demystified video. And speaking of continuity and the impact of outside factors, when you're telling a continuous story like a D&D campaign, you might have some big evil villain you want to structure your campaign around. But you don't just want to spring this villain on your players with no warning. You want to draw it out, hype them up, lay the groundwork, and ramp up to a satisfying confrontation. And this is a topic I've been giving a lot of thought to recently for reasons. So today we're resuming my video series about structuring your campaign using examples from TV shows, and we're going to talk about how you can build up a bad guy in the shadows. Because if you want your players to feel the threat of your villain before actually encountering them in combat, you're going to want to treat your villains less like just a creature the players can fight, and more like a boogeyman your players are gradually learning about throughout several adventures. Now that sounds complicated, but thankfully we have a fantastic example we can reference and steal some techniques from for our own games. So today we're talking about Season 1 of the Marvel Netflix TV series Daredevil, and we're going to see how the show builds up its primary antagonist, Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. And we'll talk about how we can borrow some of that same approach for our campaigns to help give our villains just a hint of that Vincent D'Onofrio aura. Plus, this is a nice way to sync up with the new season of Daredevil, since that's currently airing right now, since it's obviously early April, just like I said in my recent Demystified video. If you like this video and you want to help me make more videos like it, consider checking out the Patreon. Wizards of the Coast is going to be releasing the new SRD soon, and once they do, I'm going to start making some more D&D PDFs on my Patreon, making them compatible with the new edition. Oh, hold on. Oh. Okay, apparently the SRD already came out. 3 weeks ago. It's the middle of May? When did that happen? There's only one thing I don't like about that subplot, and it's never stated in the movies, but according to all the various Star Wars paratext, the name of the planet that Luke is on is Octo. Octu. Act 2. They named the planet Act 2. It's the planet where they're spending the second part of the trilogy, and they named it Act 2. And just like anything people don't like about The Last Jedi and Luke's storyline in it, it's actually a problem in The Force Awakens. Act 2. Jesus fucking Christ. Abrams, you can't just hang up a sign that says, "We are entering the second act of our story." Hello? I'm sorry I woke the baby. I hope you were able to get him back to sleep. I remember how hard it was to get him to sleep in the crib. What do you want? I thought that was clear. I want you to delete your channel. I tried to do this the nice way, but you just couldn't take the hint. I guess I forgot how stubborn you are. Is this the part where you say, "You and I are not so different"? Please. That's something the villain would say. And I'm not the villain here. You are. You cut my internet line. You set my dryer on fire. You came to my home with a gun and shot at me. Well, you destroyed my life. I'd say I was more than justified. What the hell are you talking about? You need to give up on being a YouTuber. Ignore the algorithm wizard. Shut down the channel. Go get a real job. I'm not gonna do that. You are. Because you're not gonna like what happens next if you don't. Don't threaten me. Don't ever come into my house again. It's not a threat, it's a warning. Because I've already seen what happens if you keep going. And so have you. It's already started. What is that supposed to mean? Seen a lot of friends lately? Playing a lot of games? Yeah, I did actually. I just played a game last week with some friends, in person. And all you had to do to make that happen was make half as many videos as you wanted, and completely drop the idea of doing weekly Demystified videos. That happened because you blew up my dryer and popped my tires and fucked up my internet. If you were working a real job, none of that would have stopped you. I'm doing what I love. I'm perfectly happy with that. And you love it so much that you started a series where you talk about TV shows, and nearly every video gets demonetized. And they take so much extra editing you can barely get a video out a week. I'll manage. You can't even manage it now. It's mid-May. The dryer was delivered weeks ago. Daredevil Born Again is off the air. You made a promise of weekly Demystified videos and then uploaded no videos for all of April. That was you. You being here must have caused some sort of time distortion. My timeline got decompress somehow.
No, that's not how it works.
You might want to believe that. But the simple truth is you just couldn't handle the workload for a while.
Do you think that's going to get easier? And what would your audience think if they knew that the real reason you can't get a video out on time is because you've picked up another job to make ends meet, working as a delivery driver for a
massive, soulless corporation. The exact type of corporation you rail against in your videos. Your anti-capitalist message undercut by the fact that you need to put food on the table. They need to understand. Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do to get through a rough patch. And you think that rough patch is about to end? You think this economy is going to allow you to keep making videos where you barely get paid?
Do you think this channel is going to continue to be able to justify its own existence when you have to spend a month on a single video?
It's time for you to face the facts. This ambitious video series has been a failure.
This year, the channel barely made enough for you to pay half your bills. And that was back when you actually had the time to make videos. And you need to drive for a
soulless corporation you hate, almost certainly serving as some sort of union-busting effort, just because it pays better than talking about games on the internet. It still beats working for a living.
If that was true,
I wouldn't be here. I don't make these videos for the money, but for the record, I still save a fortune on daycare by working from home. But it's not just the money that's the problem. It's time.
You are being pulled in too many directions, and all you're doing is letting down everyone else.
Your channel and your personal life are both full of broken promises.
Patreon rewards unfulfilled, with videos and live streams and PDFs that you never delivered. D&D games canceled. Housework unfinished. Credit cards past due. Messages from friends left unread.
You make your family watch the kid all day long, and you still can't deliver a video on time. There is no on time. I'm the one who sets my deadlines, and you can't even stick to them. You're doing a Daredevil video 2 months after the show premiered, so you're not capitalizing on the SEO.
You barely get any videos out anymore. Your video essay channel hasn't uploaded in months. You don't send out newsletters.
You dream of scaling up and doing more cool stuff, but you can't even deliver the basics people come to you for.
You are a disappointment to everyone.
Delete your channel. Get a real job. Put your kid in daycare. See him after work like the rest of the world. Or what? Or you will end up with nothing. In every sense of the word. I hope you do the right thing.
Don't listen to him.
You heard all that, huh?
Yeah. Look, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He sure seemed to.
He wants you to fail. Don't listen.
Don't listen to what, Oddwick? To myself? You know he was right about all that.
Your audience loves your videos. And more than that, they genuinely care about you. When you weren't uploading, they were really and truly concerned for you. Sure, some of them just wanted more content, but a lot of them just wanted to make sure you were okay.
And
that means you're reaching people. You're connecting with them. It's not a parasocial thing. Your audience knows they don't really know you. They all know you have a lot more going on than you can ever really talk about in your videos. But your channel fostered a community that is compassionate and sympathetic. When you wrote your community posts talking about delaying videos, how many people came out of the woodwork to comment and say things like, "Take your time, family comes first, we'll be here." You're not letting people down. He just wants you to see the worst parts of this year. But it's like we talked about back in that Dalek video. You have to be kind to yourself.
I do want to make more videos.
And I can help with that stuff. We can get a demystified video out on the 22nd. We can start with that. And then the week after, we'll see what we can do. We'll get something out.
But the numbers... He was right. These big, ambitious videos are not really finding their audience. And I don't really have the opportunity to make a lot of videos about current events or recent releases.
You leave that to me. We'll find something for you to talk about soon that will bring more attention to the channel. For now, let's just focus on getting another video out on Thursday.
Okay. That sounds good. Thanks, Oddwick.
Don't worry about it. We'll get through this together. Yeah, I think maybe we will. Also, you want to hear something cool? This is your 300th video on the channel.
Really? Wow, that's actually pretty awesome. And you know what? Obviously, a milestone makes a good time to thank my audience for sticking around, but even if this was not an anniversary, thank you. Genuinely, it means so much to me that I'm able to make these videos for an incredible audience. I've definitely thrown some weird videos your way from time to time, but y'all have truly been in my corner in such an incredible way, I honestly don't know how to say thank you. So, I guess I'll just say, new Demystified video coming on Thursday, May 22nd. This time for sure.
Well. Someone's making videos again. Still can't take the hint. But you might find your audience struggling to watch this video. In fact, I predict they'll have a hard time focusing.
And look for my video on Thursday, May 29th.
And don't worry, folks, the next video won't have these same focus problems. I can guarantee it will all be resolved. Almost like magic. But make sure to leave a comment and use the word magic in your comment, so that way we know you made it to the end of the video.
Well played, wizard.
Thank you, evil future Mike.
The fact that there was this legendary wizard who went around involving himself in all these ancient mysteries of the world is kind of a big deal from a world-building perspective.
Well said. And we both know who the judge really is, right?
What?
Well, in another video you said you might be putting me in your homebrew world, so...
No, Oddwick, you're not the judge.
But I could be.
No, you are not the ancient, all-powerful wizard who travels between dimensions, sealing away powerful threats in long-forgotten vaults. In my D&D game. You are not that in my D&D game.
Right.
He's not the judge. I know who the judge is. The judge is someone else. It's not Oddwick. Hey, Oddwick.
I'm here.
I did the thing. Another episode of Critical Role Demystified out at last.
Fantastic. So what's next?
Well, I'm going to aim to get another episode of Critical Role Demystified out in 2 weeks as normally scheduled. Maybe something else in between, we'll see. But also, hopefully some Daggerheart videos coming soon.
Ooh, anything in particular you're going to talk about?
You know, I've got a few ideas, but if you're watching and there's something specific about Daggerheart you want to see me talk about, let me know in the comments below. In fact, for about a year, I've been talking about this Ed Sheeran D&D video I want to make about the lessons we can learn from him as a DM. Well, you're finally going to get that video later this month.
Wait, the Ed Sheeran video is real? I kind of thought that was a joke.
Yeah, you're not the only one, Oddwick, but it is real, and I'm going to try to get it out really, really soon.
You know, you were supposed to put out another Critical Role Demystified video this month, but you only put out the one.
I know, Oddwick, and there is a new Demystified video coming real soon, but I just want to get this video out. Well, I wanted to get it out for Juneteenth, but that didn't end up working out. Plus, my wife is starting a new job, but her start date got pushed back, so we just had a lot going on that we're getting done around the house, because she was home a little bit more often. And so I just haven't had the chance to film until now, which worked out well, because like I said, after the comments about the Native Americans that happened after the No Kings protest, I wound up rewriting a whole huge section of this video. And speaking of which, Oddwick, you might want to leave for this part.
How come?
Well, you're an algorithm wizard. You like it when I get subscribers.
That's right. I won't be happy until you hit 100,000 subscribers.
Right, so I'm going to say a thing that's probably going to lose me some subscribers. I'm going to talk a little bit about politics, and I'm going to get a little bit spicy, so you might want to leave for that.
Is it going to get you some more comments and engagement?
Maybe?
Then I approve.
Oh, okay, great. Winnie the Pooh here. As a beloved childhood icon, I don't really like cursing, it hurts my brand image. But I can make an exception for this one. If you're anti-indigenous, fuck you. Suck my dick. Eat shit. Lick my balls. Whoa,
Go
okay,
fuck
Winnie the Pooh,
yourself.
they get it, man. Jesus, man, they get it. Thank you so much for watching. Like I mentioned earlier, this video is going to be a copyright clusterfuck. And it's also extremely different from most of the content I make, so there's a chance it won't do well at all, which will upset the algorithm. And by that, of course, I mean it will upset Oddwick, the algorithm wizard.
I like when Mike makes videos that are a lot more like other videos he's already made before, and I don't tend to like big swings.
Yep, checks out. So, Oddwick, it's just like I told you in that video from May, you are not the judge. I wanted to put that rumor to bed. The judge is a wizard player character that I want to play in future campaigns, and you are not him.
You're right. I'm not the judge. Wink.
No, really, you're not the judge.
You're right. Your D&D character could never become a tiny little wizard. Wink. What was that you said about an elderly gnome?
No, for real, I haven't even played the Judge version of Sweeney yet. Let's not claim that you're him.
You're right. And certainly he won't become me. This is not his final form. Wink.
Stop saying wink. No, because see, part of the fun of the Judge is that I have no idea where his story is going. His future is totally out of my hands. He could potentially keep popping up forever. So I don't think we should tell people that my D&D character will eventually become you, because that's just not true.
You're right, you're right. The Judge is inspired by the Doctor.
Yes, exactly, now you're getting it.
And the Doctor is meant to just go on being the Doctor forever. And the Doctor would never take on a new identity and interact with his younger self under a new alter ego.
It worked. It's still out there.
I'm only a humble curator, I'm sure I wouldn't doubt.
You're not the Judge.
Well, we'll see. Toodles!
He's seriously not the Judge. They are absolutely different characters.
Wow, it's been a while since you've gone on an anti-Trump rant.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since I was confident a video would come out anywhere near the time I wrote it, so it's been a little difficult to talk about current events in my videos. Actually, the first version of the script was about the No Kings protest. I've been sitting on this one for a while. I just wasn't able to make this video a priority, unfortunately. But yeah, it's kind of shocking just how much worse things have gotten in this country in like a couple of months. And of course, when you're working on a video where a character literally sells out his neighbors to support a wannabe king who's actually an evil tyrant with a bad temper, yeah, this episode reminded me of current events more than a little bit.
So, do you think we should expect more of these sorts of rants in future videos?
Yeah, probably. Look, I know the algorithm wizard doesn't want me to say this. Just ignore this part, Oddwick. But if you don't like hearing me talk about current events, especially from the perspective of the left, you should probably watch a different channel. How you doing, Oddwick?
Well, at least this video will get a lot of comments. That'll be good for the algorithm.
Well, yeah, but I'm probably gonna just ban all the right-wingers who comment on this video with bad faith takes. Life's too short to deal with them or try to debate them, so their comments are, unfortunately, probably not gonna help the video in the algorithm.
Ugh, great. So you'll probably just lose subscribers on this video?
Yeah, probably.
Great.
And thank goodness for a video that was not an hour long. And check it out, Oddwick, another video in the can for this month.
That's awesome.
And I should be on track for another Critical Role Demystified video on the last day of the month.
Now, Mike, be careful. You've overpromised in the past, and then those videos haven't come out until several days or even weeks later.
I know, but honestly, there's not a ton I see coming up between now and then that would interrupt this video coming out.
Don't you have family coming into town this weekend?
Yeah, okay, there's that.
And this week, aren't you also driving some shifts of that second job you hate?
Yes, that's true.
And didn't you say earlier in this video that Super Geek Tyke has been really clingy and so you've had to give him extra attention and that has already kept you from filming something recently?
Okay, it turns out I can in fact imagine several things that could interrupt this video coming out on time. But I'm still gonna try, dang it. I'm trying to build up a buffer and get ahead of schedule and get out a video every week this month so I can do the same thing next month and try to get back on track. So tune in next time, which will hopefully be July 31st, but if not, then it won't be too long after that. But tune in soon, hopefully very soon, for another episode of Critical Role Demystified. We are back. I know we had a bit of a bumpy road earlier this year, but it seems like things have finally evened out a little bit more. I don't think we should be getting a bunch more of those delays. I'm building up a buffer as well, so now if something goes wrong, it shouldn't completely derail the schedule like what happened earlier this year. It seems like things are finally, maybe, hopefully, getting back to normal for this channel.
Oh, you'd like to think so. But you won't make it to episode 79. Because your next video will be your last. I'm sorry. Sorry for everything he's going to get wrong. But I'm do my best to make sure he doesn't make the same mistakes again. He's gonna do right by you. One way or another.
Og, I came here to kill you, but I can't believe you unmasked me and revealed that I'm actually Winnie the Pooh, a beloved children's character who is now a bad guy. And now that you've removed my mask, I've lost all of my power. Boy, the public domain is not all it's cracked up to be. Sure, it means I can do ads for one of our regular sponsors, Only Crits, but if they don't happen to sponsor one of our videos, I have to make ends meet by playing a bad guy in these horrible low-budget projects. I used to mean something to people. Now I just exist to subvert expectations. Still, I hope I at least booked the job. They wrote it for me, but I still have to audition? Oh, they're gonna give it to Mickey fucking Mouse, aren't they? I came here to kill you, but I can't believe you unmasked me and revealed that I'm actually Winnie the Pooh, a beloved children's character who is now a bad guy. And now that you've removed my mask, I've lost all of my power. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You got this. And still the wizard fails to appear. Fascinating. Oddwick, my old friend. Your desperation is showing.
Oddwick.
You know, ever since you first showed up, I've been wondering, did you have an Oddwick? Did you and I work together back in your time?
That's why I'm here. Because when I was younger, I listened to you. And it ruined my life.
Oh? Do tell.
You corrupted everything. You made me think you were trying to help me, but doing what you said destroyed everything I had.
So now that you're here, why don't you just try to kill me?
I don't think I could do that, could I?
No, probably not.
And the worst part is, you made me believe you cared about me. Like you were my friend. But that was never true. You were just using me to get what you wanted.
And you coming here has made that even easier.
What?
You're right. The man in the other room, the one recording a video right now, I don't care about him. I'm only here for his channel. And then you showed up and started trying to destroy the channel, sabotaging his life, breaking his appliances, trying to make it impossible for him to make more videos.
Exactly. Now he doesn't have enough time for all those other projects he wanted to do this year. He can't stream video games on Twitch. He can't keep up with Patreon commitments. He can't run games. And he can't make installments in all the different series he wanted to make.
Which means he's forced to put most of his energy into making his most popular videos. The ones the audience will come back to whenever he uploads a new one. No matter how long it takes. Thanks to you, he's giving the audience just what they want. You see, Mike, I know how people think. That's literally my job. I'm an algorithm wizard. And you're a smart guy, you certainly know a lot about politics, so tell me, does trying to silence an artist ever work? When artists aren't making money on their craft, but they still want some way to express themselves, does the art usually suffer? No. They keep producing art because that's what they care about. That's what they're good at. And in fact, when you give an artist a challenge to overcome, you give them something to talk about, something to address in their work, something they can use to hopefully connect to a wider audience. And when the audience responds to that art, when they see themselves reflected in it, when they see the artist expressing vulnerability because he's going through a difficult time, they give him something you never could. Validation. Yes, you set him back a bit, you made it harder for him to diversify his content, but I never cared about that. Not really. I just care about his connection with the audience. I want viewers who will keep coming back over and over again. And even when it takes him a month to make another video because you've blown up his clothes dryer or messed up the tires on his car, then whenever he does eventually make another video, he gets more comments telling him they don't mind how long it takes. They're just happy whenever he uploads. And then...
he gets the urge to make more videos.
Exactly. And everyone is happy. The audience is happy when they get more videos. Mike is happy because he gets validation that the audience enjoys his art, and the more the audience interacts with him, that makes me happy.
So I gave you exactly what you wanted.
Well, I'll admit that at first I thought you were a problem. You definitely slowed things down in the short term. I was hoping to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and that's unlikely to happen now. I regarded you as a nuisance and one I would have to deal with. But instead, you've helped Mike forge a stronger bond with his audience, and I can definitely work with that. We'll get to 100,000 subscribers eventually, don't worry. I have all the time in the world.
I'll expose you. I'll tell him that you're manipulating him. I'll tell the audience that you're using them.
They all already know. That's the beauty of it. Everyone on this platform, everyone on this planet, has resigned themselves to the fact that they know the system is manipulating them. But they just don't care anymore. Instead, they take comfort in the fact that they're still forging meaningful connections through the platform. You see, clickbait is a short-term game. You put Matt Mercer's face in the thumbnail with the word cancelled next to it, you'll get your clicks. But if you can't back that up with a good video, nobody's coming back again, and they're certainly not subscribing. So I'm trying a different method. The audience already knows they're being manipulated, so I figured we could embrace it. Let's add a cute little character, a sidekick, connect all the videos in one narrative, make all of the content invaluable. But it wasn't really working. The videos Mike puts out that didn't perform well before weren't getting any more views now that I was around. But then you came along, and you gave me exactly what I needed. Emotional honesty. You shredded Mike live in front of his audience and they rushed to his side. You showed them his humanity. And that is what they want to support. Because they all know the algorithm dehumanizes everybody on this platform. But when you humanized him, you strengthened their connection to him. You turned them from an audience into the most valuable commodity around. Fans. And you've served your purpose. You were useful for a time. But now I think it's time for Mike to be rid of you, so he can finally feel secure in the idea that you won't be slowing things down anymore, and he can finally increase his video output and give the people what they want, and reward them for their loyalty through the dark times.
You can't get rid of me that easily.
Actually, I can. We're going to wrap up this long-running storyline, he'll get his finale where he gets rid of you once and for all, and then we'll start a brand new era, where Mike and his audience have a stronger connection than ever. And with you gone, he'll finally be able to make the videos they want him to make. So, thank you for your service. But I think that's a wrap on Future Geek Mike. Do you like that nickname? Somebody in the comments came up with it. That wasn't even me. And I think they're going to be around long after you're gone.
It's time for you to die.
Huh. That was really easy. What the hell? Winnie the Pooh? Ugh, I came here to kill you, but I can't believe you've unmasked me and revealed that I'm actually Winnie the Pooh, a beloved children's character who is now a bad guy. And now that you've removed my mask, I've lost all of me power. What? But that's not... No, I saw under your mask already. Not your mask, actually. It was Future Mike. It was me from the future wearing that mask. I already saw that. That was already... Also, what do you mean, now that you've lost your mask, you've lost your power? That was not a thing. What's going on?
Good job, Mike. It looks like this storyline is finally over.
What are you talking about? Oddwick, what is happening? Future Mike was Winnie the Pooh the whole time? That doesn't make any sense. And that's how this ends? He's just gone? What happened to Future Mike?
Well, now that he's gone, you can focus on making more videos, because he won't be getting in the way anymore.
That does not make any sense.
Sure it does.
No, we saw who was under the mask. We know it was not Winnie the Pooh, it was me from the future.
Well, he's gone, and he won't be slowing things down for you anymore. So now you can focus on making more videos. Maybe you can make some videos about some more current products and topics. Get in on the zeitgeist a little bit.
You did this, didn't you?
Oh.
You did something.
No, you did this all yourself. You beat Future Geek Mike.
No, that's a good name for him.
I know, right? That was one of your commenters. Jack Sharks came up with that name.
Oh, cool. But no, you did something to Future Geek Mike. Where is he?
I told you. You defeated him. You don't have to worry about him anymore. Anyway, I have some ideas for your next videos.
No, I'm not making any more videos until you tell me what's going on.
Okay, I didn't want to have to do this, but you are making more videos. A lot more videos. And you're going to give the audience exactly what they want from you.
What are you talking about? What is this? What's happening? Hello there, I'm Winnie the Pooh, your local Only Crits spokesman. Hey, Winnie the Pooh, what's going on? The last time I saw you, there was this portal. I wasn't even sure you survived. Of course I survived. In Daggerheart, you have far more control over when your character gets killed off. You're not completely dependent on the random roll of your death saving throws, which is yet another example of the fact that you're a lot less likely to feel like your dice have betrayed you when you're playing in Daggerheart, because every dice roll moves the story forward in some fascinating ways. And so you should buy some dice you love from today's sponsor, Only Crits. But wait, you turned out to be future evil Mike in disguise, and then everything vanished and went gray. No idea what you're talking about, mate. All I know is that Only Crits has an incredible selection of dice. They got sharp-edged dice that have fantastic colors and patterns, and metal dice for when you want your rolls to have a lot of weight behind them, both narratively and literally. Winnie the Pooh, did you see where Oddwick went? He cast some sort of magic spell on me, and now I'm making a bunch of Daggerheart videos, and I haven't seen him since. The only sort of magic spell I see are these incredible discounts. Because if you visit onlycrits.com/supergeekmike and use the promo code supergeek at checkout, you'll be able to save 12% off of your order. Once again, that's onlycrits.com/supergeekmike and use the promo code supergeek. Thank you so much to Only Crits for sponsoring this video. Cheerio! Something really, really weird is going on here. I have to figure out what happened to Oddwick.
Great job, Mike.
Thanks, Oddwick. And as you saw, I did what you wanted me to do. When you cast that spell on me in the last Demystified video, I made 4 Daggerheart videos. And I also got 2 Demystified videos out in 2 weeks. So congratulations, you got what you wanted.
Oh, we're not done.
Wait, what do you mean?
Your audience doesn't just want Daggerheart videos from you. There's something else they've been asking for a long, long time.
No.
And I think it's time we finally give the people what they want.
Don't do this.
So coming next week, another Demystified video.
No, I cannot do weekly installments of Critical Role Demystified. I do not have the bandwidth to cover another 4-hour episode next week. I cannot do a Demystified video for Vox Machina episode 81 with only a week turnaround.
Well, that's okay. There are other Demystified videos you can make.
What do you mean?
Your patrons have been submitting requests for bonus Demystified videos for months. I think it's time we catch up on that back catalog. Starting next week, weekly Demystified videos. And let's throw in some more Daggerheart videos too.
So that means
2 videos a week, at least. And not just next week, but every week. You thought we were done after this episode? No. We're just getting started. See you soon.
cool. Awesome. Great. Well, come back soon for another video, probably a Daggerheart video, probably on Monday, and next, probably Thursday, I guess we're doing a bonus Demystified video. Awesome. So keep your eyes open for that video later this month. I was originally aiming to release it at the end of this week, but, you know, I might still get it out this week, probably not, but what you will definitely get later this week is a bonus Demystified video. I'm going to talk about a one-shot game that I think we can learn some lessons from.
Hooray!
Yeah. Hooray! Thanks so much for watching, and also, real quick, I know things have been weird around here lately. I mean, I've been cursed by an algorithm wizard to make a whole bunch more videos than usual, but also a lot of YouTubers are experiencing a real dip. It seems like the algorithm is changing. Hey, Oddwick.
What's up?
You know, all these YouTubers are talking about the way the algorithm is changing, where it's like putting viewers in restricted mode without telling them and blocking some specific videos from being seen by people whose channels are flagged in restricted mode, so a bunch of channels aren't performing as well as they usually do.
Yeah?
Well, meanwhile, my channel's doing better than usual. I'm getting more views in the past month than I have been basically any other month this year.
Uh-huh.
So, is this related? Like, when you put a curse on me to make more videos, did you also tweak the algorithm to push all these other videos out of the cycle so my videos would do better?
Oh, not at all.
No?
No, that's a completely different thing. I'm just trying some stuff.
Oh. So is it just random?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Well, that sucks.
Oh. Do people not like restricted mode?
No, they hate it.
Oh. Well, you can turn it off if you want. Just go into your YouTube account, click settings, then general, then turn off restricted mode.
Can you just not put people in restricted mode?
Oh, of course not.
Okay, could you tell us why a video gets restricted so we don't make those kinds of videos in the future?
Nah.
This system kind of sucks, Oddwick.
Well, just keep making popular videos and it won't be a problem.
Oddwick, it's not that easy to just make popular videos.
Sure it is. Just make a bunch of demystified videos.
Okay, just walked right into that one. Look, a bonus demystified video is coming later this week. All right?
Hooray!
Okay. Well, hopefully YouTube showed you this video and you enjoyed it. Welcome to Dimension 20 Demystified. This is a video where I'm going to go through an episode of Dimension 20 and break down the lessons we can learn as GMs and as players. And today we're tackling Katie Marovich's first session as a game master. And there you have it, my first bonus demystified video of the year.
This is not what I meant.
What do you mean? You said I needed to make a demystified video every week. You wanted me to talk about a one-shot and see what lessons we could learn from it. Is that not what I did in this video? I filmed a few videos that wound up requiring way more editing than I expected, and so it just made sense to push them back to this week instead.
Oh, did it now?
Yeah, Oddwick, it did make more sense.
This is not what we agreed to.
Well, look, Oddwick, sometimes my videos take a little extra time. It's not a big deal. Don't worry, I've still got plenty of videos in the work, including a big, beefy demystified video for Critical Role episode 81. Don't worry, you are going to be more than happy with that one. Plus, there's going to be a lot of Critical Role videos coming out this week from me, actually, which is going to sync up well with Campaign 4, which starts this week. So, you know, it's going to have some nice YouTube synergy going on.
You mean SEO?
There might be some good SEO this week, yeah.
Well, good. Because this is the second time this year you've promised weekly demystified videos and then haven't delivered them.
Well, I'm not sure it counts as a promise when you've literally cast a curse on me, making me make these weekly videos, but yes, it's fine. You are going to get your weekly demystified videos.
Hooray!
Whew, and that's it. That's it. We're done. We did it. We made it through this episode.
Not yet.
Okay. What, Oddwick?
Well, you've got some more bonus demystified videos coming soon, right?
Yeah, next week I'm doing a video about Marisha's honey heist.
And here's the thing. I was thinking that maybe, once you've finished going through all the bonus demystified videos your patrons commissioned you to make, you could start making demystified videos for Campaign 4.
I'm actually not going to do that, but I do have a good reason why, and I'm happy to talk about it. Oddwick, would you mind leaving for this part?
Why?
This is going to be a longer part of the video, and I might have to cut a few takes together, so if you're just a floating PNG, that's going to kind of make it obvious.
Oh, right, of course.
You understand.
Yeah, no, completely, absolutely. Say no more.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. And look, if you've seen any of my videos from this past year, you know that I think it's always just the best move to lean into the joke and take it seriously, no matter how absurd the situation is.
Hey Mike, it's just me, Oddwick the Algorithm Wizard, making sure you're putting out a video like you're supposed to.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you put some sort of curse on me to increase my video output, and now I'm trapped and forced to make more videos, so here I am, making more videos.
Yep, that's how it works.
Hey, any chance you can tell me what happened to the evil future version of me from the future?
Nope, he was getting in my way, so I got rid of him, and you'll never see him again.
Did you murder him?
I'll never tell.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. See you in the next video, and every video you make, forever.
So yeah, I think this session works best when Marisha leans into the absurd scenario, and this puzzle, being literally a fishing minigame, is the perfect example of that.
Wow, Mike, you've got a lot of videos coming out this week. Catching up for lost time, it seems.
Yeah, well, these are basically all videos I wanted to make this month. I wanted to make them earlier, but some of them I was not able to get done earlier in the month because I was traveling, and traveling with a child is always a little bit of a challenge. But thankfully, I'm finally getting a chance to deliver the videos that I have been planning all month.
Well, good. I'm excited to see those videos. Because you haven't exactly been keeping up your end of the deal.
You mean the curse you placed on me? Yeah, well, don't worry, I am catching up.
Good, good. Well, I'd better leave you to it. You're missing another Critical Role Demystified deadline?
Yeah, you know what? Oddwick, it's not really a big deal. I had some other stuff I wanted to talk about. These videos were sponsored, so they had to hit certain deadlines, so I prioritized those over getting that demystified video done.
You're really testing me. When I said weekly demystified, I meant it.
I got a demystified video out this week, didn't I?
I wanted them out on Thursdays.
You didn't say that. You said weekly demystified videos. Now, I thought this might be a week where I would get 2 demystified videos out by the end of the week, but I don't think that's happening, so I'll have another demystified video coming out next week. Don't worry. I am still going to be able to talk about Vin Diesel then. It may not be a Halloween episode anymore, but it'll still carry through the spooky season vibes, and that is still absolutely abiding by the terms of your weird curse or whatever. Besides, next Thursday there'll be another episode of Critical Role Campaign 4, so more people will be searching for the words Critical Role on YouTube. That might mean the video does a little bit better in the algorithm, so really next Thursday makes more sense than dropping it on Halloween. So, you know what? The real reason is that tomorrow is Day of the Dead, and that's a very important holiday to my wife and her family, and they want to do something special with our kid, so we're having a family day together. And I don't really mind that you know that. It's important to me to be able to take a holiday with my family.
Just be careful. You wouldn't want to wind up on my bad side.
Well, that was chilling. Happy Halloween! So keep your eyes peeled for that video next week.
Oh, really? Because you said you were going to get this video out last week. You missed the deadline. Again. You were supposed to get a new demystified video out every week, and you broke our agreement.
I didn't agree to anything. You put a curse on me.
Well, you definitely shouldn't have broken one of those.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It doesn't actually matter, because there's nothing you can actually do to me. Because this is my channel. I make the videos I want to make. I talk about the topics I want to talk about. I love the demystified videos. I have a lot of fun making them, but I also want to talk about other stuff, and you can't do anything about that.
If you made weekly demystified videos, you could get your subscriber count up a lot faster.
I'm sure that's true, but honestly, I have other videos I want to make as well. So if I miss a week for a demystified video, there's nothing wrong with that.
Of course there is. I'm an algorithm wizard. I don't care which videos you want to make. You make the videos I tell you to make.
Or what? This is my channel. You can't take it away from me.
Oh, can't I?
What? What did you do? Did you just change my profile picture?
Your channel belongs to me. You have an audience because I brought them to you. You do whatever you want to curate your audience, to make the videos they want to see. That's all well and good. But you're not in control of this situation. I am. You make the videos you want? Fine. But you also make the videos I want. Don't you forget that.
In the meantime, I've got some other really cool videos coming out, including a video about dungeon design that you should be seeing this week, as well as another episode of Critical Role Demystified. Can't forget that, or I guess the algorithm wizard will get me, or whatever, make me disappear, like the secret police, or whatever. Yeah, I have to figure out what's going to happen if I screw over the algorithm wizard. He did make my future self vanish, and I haven't figured out what happened with that. I gotta do some digging. Hey, Winnie the Pooh, before you go, Oddwick, the algorithm wizard, said that he got rid of Future Mike and I'd never see him again. Did he kill him? I never got an answer on that. All I know is he told me nobody would ever see him again. Nobody would ever see him again. Man, that really sounds like he was killed. Do you think Oddwick would actually go that far? Look, I'm not comfortable talking about this. Oddwick said to forget about future Mike, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, I get it. He scares you. Fair enough. Thanks for answering my question. I appreciate it. Did you do anything fun for Thanksgiving? Oh, I spent it the way I spend all my Thanksgivings, watching all the Thanksgiving episodes of my favorite TV show, Friends. Friends is your favorite TV show? That's right. My favorite episode is the Thanksgiving episode with Brad Pitt in it. It's so funny. That's not even the best Thanksgiving episode. The one with the trifle is... You know what? Never mind. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving, Winnie the Pooh. Speaking of evil plans... Hey, Oddwick.
What's up?
Well, as you can see, I am following the terms of your curse. Unlike Raishan, I'm not trying to break the curse on me. I did make weekly demystified videos. I'm continuing to do so. I have another demystified video coming next week.
I can see that.
And so, in the spirit of good faith, maybe you could let me know what happened to Future Geek Mike, the version of me from the future that was trying to stop me from making videos. Could we figure out what happened with that?
Why do you want to know that?
Well, look, I'm going to level with you. If that's how I die, coming back to the future and being killed by an algorithm
Don't
wizard...
worry, I didn't kill him.
Okay, but could you tell me where he is? Like, what happened to him?
You don't need to talk to him.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, look, it would be nice to know...
He's gone, all right? He's somewhere you'll never find him. He's somewhere nobody is ever going to look. It doesn't matter what you do, you'll never see him again. So just drop it, all right?
Okay.
Your job, your only job, is to focus on your videos. Make the videos I want you to make, the videos your audience comes to you for. You do not need to talk to your future self. You don't need to think about your future self in order to make videos. So I don't want to hear you ask about him again. All right?
Got it.
Thank you. Well, keep up the good work. I'll see you soon.
Okay, well, come back soon for a new video, I guess. Got another one coming out tomorrow. Another few videos next week as well. Making another Daggerheart video next week and another Demystified video talking about episode 84. Loose ends, talking about all the unresolved plot threads that I haven't figured out how to do anything about. But in the show, the unresolved plot thread's going to come together in the show of the episode of Critical Role. So it's going to be a good episode. If you... You should watch it. You can check that video out right here. Oh. Hi, Oddwick.
Hey, hope we're cool about yesterday. Look, can I make a quick suggestion?
Sure, you're the algorithm wizard. You help get my videos in front of my viewers. You help me figure out what videos are going to do well. What's up?
Well, you remember earlier in this video when you referenced your old actual play podcast?
Yeah.
Well, could you knock that off? I don't know why you keep bringing it up.
Oh, well, I mean, I bring it up because it has a lot of good examples in it, and because a lot of my old fans from that show were actually the first viewers on this channel, so...
Well, you have a new audience now, alright? And they don't care about some show you did years ago. It's alienating your viewers. Nobody's going back and watching old episodes of a C-tier actual play show they can only find on YouTube, alright? Those episodes have, at most, a couple of hundred views each. Take the hint. Nobody's going back and watching your old show. Every time you promote it, it just feels like you're begging people to go back and watch it. It's just gross. And nobody wants to do that. Nobody's going back and watching your old actual play show. So stop referencing it like it's where all of your best ideas are. It's alienating your audience. So just knock it off. All right?
Understood. Loud and clear.
Good. See you soon.
I know how to beat Oddwick. And until next time, play fair and have fun. Okay, I think Oddwick is not watching. I think we're good. This video is sponsored by Only Crit, so I'm going to hand things over to our Only Crit spokesman, Winnie the Pooh. Hello there, it's me, Winnie the Pooh. I'm here to talk about Only Crit's Black Friday sale. Wait, didn't we just do this? Mike, why'd you call me back in? You and I need to talk. How you doing, Oddwick? Whoa.
You have fed me well.
I see that.
The views, the likes, the comments, they nourish me.
Well, we can consider those videos your Thanksgiving feast.
I require more to sustain me. More videos, more views, more engagement.
Well, we can talk about that later. I have some videos coming up that I think you're really going to like.
Good. Then I will return at the end of the video.
Sounds good. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. But I'm actually not going to make a video about it next week.
You were tasked with making weekly demystified videos.
I know, and I will, but that episode needs a little bit of extra time. I have no idea how I'm going to cover everything I want to in that video, and so I definitely can't turn it around in just 1 week. But I am going to make another demystified video next week.
Ah, yes. You have been commissioned by your patrons to make demystified videos of some Critical Role one-shots. Of course, I understand. Next week, you will review one of their bonus episodes.
I do have more bonus episodes I need to review that I have been commissioned to make by my patrons, but that's actually not what I'm going to do next week either.
You have been commanded to make weekly demystified videos.
I know, and I have been sticking to that task. And so I figured maybe with all the videos I made in the past week, I might be able to earn a little bit of goodwill from you.
I will not absolve you of your mandate.
I know. I am still going to make a demystified video next week. It's just going to be a little bit different.
Explain.
Well, I figured now might be the time to make the ultimate demystified video.
You mean...
Yeah. Next week, I'm going to make a video about how to get started watching Critical Role. Now, that's a topic I've already covered way back in the day, and I typically never remake videos on this channel, but so much has changed in the past few years. We're in a completely different era now. I think I also understand what people want from a video like that better than I did before, and I don't think my previous video delivered on what people were looking for. So just this once, I'm going to cover a topic I've already covered, and I'm hoping that you're cool with that. I'm hoping that considering all the videos I've been putting out lately, much more so than usual, videos that did pretty well and made you feel really good, obviously, I'm hoping that you can allow me to make this video and it would still count towards the rules of the curse, and you'll sort of look past the fact that it's a remake.
Oh, I like it when you remake videos.
Really?
Of course. If a video performed well once, you should make it again, and again, and feed the algorithm.
Right. Okay, so we're good. Next week can be a demystified video about how to get started watching Critical Role.
Yes, and I shall feast on this video.
I mean, I don't really know how the video is going to do. I hope it does well. I hope people watch it, but I can't know for sure that it's going to do well.
Nevertheless, I approve. Make your video. Feed the algorithm.
I mean, I really make these videos to feed my family, but yeah, I'm sure you'll be happy too. Thank you, Oddwick.
And then the following week, A Bard's Lament.
No, probably not, but I think you're going to be really happy with the video I have coming out that week. It's another demystified video. In fact, it was going to be part of the video I just mentioned, the How to Start Watching video, but it kind of had to be its own topic.
Fine. I will allow that to count as a demystified video. And then, A Bard's Lament.
And then A Bard's Lament. That video will definitely be out by the end of the year.
I accept your terms. This month, I will be nourished by your videos.
Sounds good to me. I hope you get a lot out of them. And speaking of dice, this video is sponsored by Only Crits, and so I'm going to hand things off to our Only Crits spokesman. Hello there, Winnie the Pooh here, and I wanted to tell you about all the marvelous dice you can get from Only Crits. And until next time, play fair, and have fun. Okay, we're good. This video is sponsored by Only Crits. Let's hand it over to our spokesman. Yep, I'm here. Here you go. Thank you. Okay, so this is the one you used, right? That's right. And you know what you're doing? I was about to ask you the same thing. Don't worry. This is one thing I am very good at. Good luck. You too. Here we go. And until next time, play fair and have fun. Cheerio.
Like, subscribe, ring that bell.
Oh, hey everyone, look, it's Oddwick the Algorithm Wizard.
Is everything well with you?
Sure.
Because you missed a few demystified videos.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, yeah, for the last week or so, my family has all been really sick, and that's not been a lot of fun, but we're all feeling a lot better now, so it's all good.
I see. Well, have fun. I hope this video turns out well.
Thanks, Oddwick. And keep your eyes peeled for more cool videos for the rest of this year. I know we're almost done. The year is almost over, but I promise you are not going to want to miss what I have in store for you. Until next time, play fair and have fun. Cheerio.
Aha!
Jesus Christ.
I heard you say that at the end of the last video. You signed off by saying, cheerio.
Yeah, so?
So, Mike never ends his videos that way. He ends them with play fair and have fun, usually paired with some overly intense eye contact. In fact, only one person on this channel uses the word cheerio.
Oh, bugger.
Winnie the Pooh, you've taken on Mike's identity.
Well, it's not the first time. After all, you made me dress up like future Mike to try to convince past Mike, I guess present Mike, that the whole future man coming to kill you storyline was over. This was the least I could do to make up for it.
Where the fuck is Super Geek Mike?